Hello everybody, today's May 13th, 2013. That's my side view mirror there. I figured I had some time to go ahead and tell you the story about my experience with the current housing market that I've been wanting to tell you. So I'll go ahead and do that now. Many of you may or may not be aware that there's a second bubble being formed. Now, I'm not sure how this one's going to turn out. It's a little bit different than the last one. The last one was fueled with all crazy types of loans that I'm sure many of you are aware of. The interest-only loans and the no-doc loans where they didn't even verify your earnings. Negative amortizing loan where the principal would actually go up. You weren't even paying enough to make the principal go down, but that was based on everyone thinking the value would just continue to go up forever. And so they were paying, but they weren't even paying all the interest. And you know, those people were bound to end up in a bad situation. But anyhow, so all the craziness was over with around 2009, the beginning of 2009, and I bought a house in January. Now, I've shown you the books I read about the coming housing collapse that I was reading in 04, and so I didn't buy a house in the bubble. You know, I knew I couldn't afford it, and I saw a housing collapse coming because I believed the books, and the books were right. It made sense. And so anyway, I got a house for $200, and the bank, you were able to ask for 6% back. They actually gave me 13 grand to do the deal. So I got a house for like 187, 4-bedroom, 1,600 square feet with a pool. And so that was 4 years ago now. And last year, a lot of you know what happened to my wife involved in that robbery with the attempted murder crap. I mean, she wanted out of town because the guy got out of jail. It was a young guy. He got 2 felonies, plea bargain, you know, criminal justice system. That's why it's called that. The criminals get the justice a lot of times. So he's out on 5 years probation, and he lives in the same town. And so my wife last year wanted to leave, and I didn't really want to, but I didn't feel I had any choice in the matter. So we started looking. We had a house for $175,000. It was a 5-bed, 2,900 square feet in the Central Valley in California, like 20 minutes from where I currently live. And right at the end, there was problems. It was a short sale, so you know the time frames didn't work out, and there were some problems with dropping my credit score right at the last minute, and everything fell apart. I had to get out of the sale of my house and the purchase of the other house. I was going to buy, I said I was going to buy the other house for $175. I was going to sell my house for $240, and you know, we're going to make like 50 grand. So anyhow, fast forward, I had to go through a whole bunch of stuff. I had to get letters from the bank because they were reporting me wrong, and I didn't know it. So my credit score was screwed up. And it took letters from the bank, and I did a rapid rescore and got all that fixed. During that time, the housing market just totally took off from September of 2012 until like March 2013. Totally incredible. That house that I was going to have all of a sudden is on the market for $240. Granted, the 175 was based on a price earlier in 2012 because someone else was buying it and fell apart, and we came in and lowballed it. But anyhow, so we started looking again in March of this year, and actually we're going to have something. I'm paying $300 now. It's a lot more than, you know, I was going to pay. It's a nicer house, a nicer neighborhood. You know, it's like 6 rooms, and you know, I think it's got 2 masters, 1 down, 1 up, and it's got 4 bedrooms and 2 bonus rooms. So kind of a 6-room 3,500 square feet. But I'm paying 87 bucks a square foot, where I'm selling mine for 187 a square foot. So I got 287 for mine instead of the 240. So things are moving up really hard and fast, and you know, they're buying 40 or 45 billion a month in mortgage-backed securities. I always get that mixed up. It's either 40 or 45, and then the other 40 they're buying bonds. So I just wanted to tell you my experience with the housing market. I've seen the market here move up 60% just like in 8 months, and you know, it's really incredible. But this time it's being fueled by investors. I had my lender tell me 50% of all home sales in the past, I don't know, it was like 6 to 8 months, were investors. And I know that there were a lot of investors in the market the past few years, but half the sales are investors. The main difference is this time around it's being fueled by 30-year fixed mortgages, not the crazy mortgages. You got to have a 640 credit score in order to get a loan now. It won't touch anyone below that. And so we'll have to see what happens. I'm thinking it's going to level off. It's kind of upset the way it turned out, but I did get another almost 50 grand for my house. So, you know, we'll be able to put a chunk down, but I was going to have almost 3,000 square foot house for 175 grand, which, you know, you may be laughing. Maybe where you're at, you can get a 6,000 square foot house. But here in California, that's a hell of a deal, because where I grew up in the Bay Area, you know, the homes I'm talking about here in this video, they're $1 million homes. And I'm talking about them being 200, 300 grand. So, you know, I don't know how people are buying those $1 million homes, but you know, it's near Silicon Valley, so people making a lot of money over there. Don't forget, I got the foreclosure capital of the world back in 2010, 2009, 2010. Stockton, California, most foreclosures in the entire world. Because there's no jobs around there, and the houses went up to $500,000, and people were buying them if they had a heartbeat. But you know, once the interest rates rose and those teaser rates ran away, then they couldn't afford them. So anyhow, I hope this didn't bore you too much. I wanted to tell you my experience with the housing market. And oh, I just saw one of the models of that home I was going to have for 175 just went on at 304. So really blown away at that. I mean, you know, that's what, I don't know, 60-70% rise. It's just totally incredible how fast the market's moved here in the past year in California. So that's it, everybody. Take care.